looks like we're just jumping right into this. This recipe calls for 1 cup of milk. I'm using evaporated milk. The milk needs to be either room temperature or slightly warm. Um, we're using yeast, so yeah, in order to activate the yeast, you need warm liquids. Ugh, get that shell out of there. The recipe also calls for 1 large egg. Someone asked could they use an extra large egg before. I have no idea. I've never used an extra large egg, but I mean, maybe somebody could try it and let me know in the comments. This recipe also calls for 1/4 cup of sweetened condensed milk. So I'm just measuring that, pour it right in. This is very thick, so you want to try to get out as much as possible. Usually I'll just grab a spoon, spatula, or a fork, like I'm using in this video, to get as much out as possible. Not having enough of a particular ingredient can definitely affect the overall taste, so just try to get as much out as possible. Trial and error. So this is an awesome recipe, so try to follow it as much as possible. Again, like I said, the milk needs to be warm or at least room temperature. Also used 1 teaspoon of salt. Some people add the salt after adding the flour, or add the salt and flour together. I didn't. I don't think it really matters, but to each their own. The full description or full recipe will be posted in the description box below. I'm also now just putting my sugar, 2 tablespoons of sugar. If you don't want it as sweet, I guess you can omit some of that sugar if you want. We like our cinnamon rolls or buns sweet, so yeah. I am also using a 2 teaspoons of yeast. This is active yeast. These particular packets come with 2 teaspoons per packet, so just try to empty it out. For those that do not know, yeast is an active organism, so in order to wake it up, you will need to have a warm liquid, or at least, like I said, room temperature. I'm just gonna mix this up as much as possible. You want to try to incorporate all the ingredients, especially that sweetened condensed milk. When you put it in, it's thick, it's heavy, it's going to fall right to the bottom. So we're just going to mix this up as much as possible. This is why I like using these spatulas, because it'll help me scrape what I need off the side of the bowl, off the sides of the bowl, sorry. I'm also going to put in my flour. I am using all-purpose flour, 3 cups to be exact. I'm using a measuring cup. However some people can eye it. I always end up doing too much, so I have to measure. So there's my 3 cups. We're just gonna mix it. Try to fold it in as much as possible to incorporate all that flour into our wet mixture. Again, like I said, these spatulas work wonders. You can just scrape our stuff right off the side of the bowl. And I'm just gonna keep mixing until everything's in. After our dough is formed, I'm going to add my softened butter. I'm using 1/4 cup of softened butter, unsalted butter, which I'm just folding into the dough. And you're just gonna fold it in, and just keep folding and or mixing until you get that, again, all the way incorporated into our dough mixture. After we do that, I'm just going to take it out of the bowl using flour on my surface. Take my dough out and just mix it in. Just kneading the butter into my dough mixture. I'm just gonna keep doing that until it is as smooth as possible. You will definitely be able to tell the difference in the texture after you're kneading it. So you're just gonna just keep on until it is as smooth as possible. So you're just gonna keep on rolling it in and moving it and scooting it and pushing it, and again, like I said, until the dough is as smooth as possible. Now here, as you can see, definitely a difference. Our dough looked a little grainy at first. Now you can see how smooth it is. Nice, pretty, and smooth. I put some oil in my bowl. I'm just gonna rub my dough ball with some oil. And that just prevents it from sticking while it's rising. And we're just gonna put that into our greased bowl. Covered it for a little bit. After I covered it and let it rise for about an hour, you want to make sure it double or triple in size. We're going to push all the gas out. Just push it down, smash it down until you push all that gas out. Um, you know, you'll definitely be able to tell the difference. We're just going to press it out. I'm just going to knead it just a little bit more. Just to try to get, because I want this into like a square. This is going to be cinnamon rolls, so we need a big square. I'm just going to roll it out to try to get it as flat as possible. It's it's very elastic like, so you know you just want to try to get it right to your liking. So I'm just going to roll it out. This is my square. Again, to each their own. You want to try to get yours. I tried to get it as perfect as possible, but hey, now I am just taking the other half of my softened unsalted butter, and I am just going to lather it on top. If I was making this for somebody else, I would definitely have gloves on, but my hands are clean. It's for me and my family, so hey, just get my hands on in there. But I'm just gonna rub the butter all the way to each end. Then I'm going to take my my mixture. Some people like to mix their dry rub with the butter to try to make it like a spread. Me, I do not. Take my brown sugar. I also used cinnamon, just a tad bit of salt, and you're just gonna spread it over. I use dark brown sugar. You can use white sugar, light brown sugar, whatever you choose. This recipe, again, I used dark brown sugar. Just spread it all the way to the end, and now we roll. You're gonna take the long part of it, and you're gonna roll it that way. If you don't want to, you want to roll it the opposite way. Do what you do. But me personally, this is what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna roll it all the way. You're gonna make sure your filling is inside. So that's how we're gonna do that. Now after I got it as nice as possible, we're just gonna cut. You can eye it. If you want them thicker, of course you would make them your cuts a little bigger. So for this one, this is how I'm doing it. So I guess you can say about 1.5 inches or so wide is how I did them. Keep in mind, this is going to rise. Okay, we're just going to line our whatever baking sheet you're going to use. Line it with some parchment paper. You're going to lie down your buns or rolls, however you want to call them. You're going to try to space them out as much as possible, as much as you can. Again, like I said, they will rise. Now we have them in. This recipe made 11. So we're going to cover it, let it rise for about 45 minutes to an hour until it's doubled or tripled in size. Now I'm making my icing. This is a whole stick of unsalted butter, or a half a cup. It's the same thing. We're going to use 3 cups of powdered sugar. So I'm just putting that in there. And so the recipe calls for, you want to try to get all that sugar out, 4 to 5 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. I'll get back to that. But what I just added was my vanilla. So I just added some Adam's vanilla extract. Now I just added a pinch of salt. You definitely want to add a little salt to it. It'll definitely bring out the taste. And again, like I said, the recipe calls for heavy whipping cream. I did not have heavy whipping cream, y'all, so I used some evaporated milk and it was delicious. Oh my gosh, it was really, really good. But I normally do the heavy whipping cream. So now I'm just taking, if you turn that mixer on with that powder, it's gonna fly everywhere. So I advise y'all to just try to do it, mix it like that, and then once it's kind of all incorporated, then you turn your mixer on. And then you're just gonna mix it all together. This is buttercream frosting. And it's just so much better than the regular icing. Again, you're going to add your milk according to the consistency that you like. Um, so now, after I let my rolls rise, that's how they looked coming out. Put them in the oven for about 20-30 minutes. Boom, took them out. They look nice and they are so soft, smells delicious. And we are just going to lather on that icing. You're going to put as much as you want on each one of those rolls. I kind of went in, like I said, me and my family, we like heavy on the buttercream. So you say it's to your liking, do what you do. And I pretty much use this whole entire container. But don't judge me. Like I said, this is just what we like, and I just try to cover every inch, because especially once they're hot, it's gonna melt and kind of, melt into those creases and crevices. And so, yeah, we just want to try to use as much icing as we can, and then bada boom, bada bing. They're still hot, but I just want y'all to see how soft and oh my gosh, they are so soft and perfect. Y'all, please try the recipe. Comment down below how it turned out. If I could have tweaked it, hey, let me know. Hope y'all enjoy. Bye.